In this video, we are going to look at a few applications of the law of sines. The law of sines allows us to work with triangles that are not necessarily right triangles, and as a result, this law can be used to solve problems involving navigation, the environment, engineering, astronomy, surveying, just to name a few. So let's take a look at the types of examples you're going to encounter. Okay, so here's a problem where we have two fire lookout stations that have spotted a fire, and I have their locations. I have clues about their locations. I have their proximity to one another, and I have their directional information to the fire, and I want to figure out how far one of the stations is to the fire itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of the clues that I have given to me in the problem, and I'm going to use the law of sines to solve everything that I can and determine how far the station is from the fire. So let's just read the problem and figure out the clues and see what we can do. So two fire lookout stations are 13 miles apart. All right, so here's one piece of information that we have, with station B directly east of station A. So there's one very important piece of information. We have directional information here. We have distance and we have direction. And both stations spot a fire, and the bearing of the fire from station A is north 35 degrees east, so there's some more directional information. And the bearing of the fire from station B is north 49 degrees west. How far to the nearest tenth of a mile is the fire from station B? So the first thing I need to think about here is my directional information. And for reference, I'm thinking about direction as north. North goes up, south goes down, east and west. East is going to the right, and west is going to the left. All right, so the first thing that I know when I'm going to draw this little scenario here is that station A, so I'm going to start with station A, and I'm going to just sketch a picture here. And those of you that have spent much time with me know I'm not very good at this. I'm not very good at drawing, but we're just going to go with it. Station A and station B are 13 miles apart, and B is directly east of station A. So it's directly across from station A, 13 miles away, going east. Well, I've just drawn my directions here. So east is to the right. So I'm going to go to the right, straight here to the right to find station B. So here's station B, and it is a distance of 13. All right, 13 miles. So there's that. Now, both of them spot a fire somewhere, and the bearing of the fire from station A is to the north. All right, so we go to the north, but then we veer off from the north by a bearing of 35 degrees a little bit to the east. So we come off 35 degrees in this direction, okay, 35 degrees, and then to the east, which means we go to the right, because remember the east is to the right, but not totally to the right, like not full 90 degrees, but just 35 degrees. So we're going to make an angle here this way to the fire. So the fire's over here somewhere. And then B also goes to the north to get to the fire, but then goes at an angle of 49 degrees, but to the west. So it comes this way a little bit more. So 49 degrees to the west. So over here. So the fire is somewhere, right? Here's our fire right here. They both spot a fire right here. All right. So we have a fire here. So let's call this C up here, because we have A, we have B. So this must be C. The fire is at C. All right. So essentially what we're going to try to figure out is how far is the fire from station B. So we're trying to figure out this distance this line right here. So that is going to be side A, because remember, the sides are opposite the angle. So A is what we're trying to find out. A is our unknown. That's our question. That's our goal here. That's our mystery. That's what we want to find out. So what we can do now is figure out our knowns and unknowns. What can we solve for? So what we have here are angles that we don't know. We have angles that we know and angles that we don't know. Well, if I have this straight up and down angle right here, and I go to right here, I can create a right angle. And I can do the same thing right here. I have this right angle right here. Well, I know part of that right angle. I know 49 on right here in angle B. I know 49 degrees of it. So what I can do is I can say 90 minus 49, and I can get this bit of the angle right here. And I can do the same thing right here. I can say 90 minus 35, and I can get this little bit of the unknown angle right here. So 90 minus 49 gives me 41 degrees, and 90 minus 35 gives me 55 degrees. Okay, so I've got two angles of my triangle. So here I have 55 degrees, and here I have 41 degrees. So that means if I want to know angle C, all I need to do is subtract these two from 180, because remember, all three angles of a triangle add up to equal 180 degrees. So I would just need to say 180 degrees minus the 41 minus the 55 that I already know is going to equal angle C. So if I do that arithmetic, then that's going to tell me that angle C equals 84 degrees. So if you grab your calculator, you can check me on that, and you can see that now I know all three angles inside of that triangle. So already I've done a lot of the work here. I'm almost done, believe it or not, in figuring out what the distance is from the fire station B to the fire. So now I just need to use my law of sines, which tells me if I know any side and an angle, then I can create a ratio that lets me solve for the unknown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use side C and angle C, and I'm going to set up a ratio with side A and angle A. So I'm going to switch colors here because stuff's starting to run together, and you know I don't like that. So let me just make some delineation here. So let's do C over sine C equals A over sine A. And then let's fill in what we have and solve for what we don't have. So 13 over, we know side C is 13, over sine 84 equals A, we don't know A, over sine 55. And then we're going to cross multiply, and we're going to get A sine 84 equals 13 sine 55. And of course I'm solving for A, so I'm going to divide both sides by sine 84. And I want to get A equals 13 sine 55 over sine 84. Grab your calculator, and you will get A equals 10.707. Make sure your calculator is in degrees. And we need to round to the nearest tenth of a mile. So the fire is approximately 10.7 miles from station B. So we've used the law of sines to determine how far that fire was from station B. Let's take a look at another example. So this is an example from your book, and it also matches one of your homework problems on my math lab if you're in my class. This I took out of the text. It's number 49. So the figure shows a 1,200-yard long sand beach and an oil platform in the ocean. So here's your 1,200-yard long beach, 1,200 yards from one side to the other. The angle made with the platform from one end of the beach is 85 degrees, and from the other end it is 76 degrees. So these are the angles we're talking about here. We have a 76-degree angle and we have an 85-degree angle. Find the distance of the oil platform to the nearest tenth of a yard from each end of the beach. So what that's asking us to do is find the distance from the oil platform down here to the beach. So we're trying to find these distances right here. So we're going to use our law of sines. So what we have here are two angles and a side. So we're going to be using the two known angles to find the one unknown angle to begin with. So we know 85 and 76, and we know all three angles need to add up to equal 180. So we want to always check for that first. So let's let this be angle A, just so that we have everything named, and that be angle B, and let's let this be angle C. So A, B, and C should equal 180. So C should equal 180 minus 85 minus 76. So all that should add up to 180. So if we do that in our calculators, angle C should equal 19 degrees. And we can see, and actually, let me fix that. That does look like 190 almost, because I started to write something else. 19 degrees. So we can see that's a tiny little angle there. That makes sense that it would be 19 degrees. I probably should pick another color, shouldn't I? It's not showing up very well. 19 degrees. There we go. Okay, so C is 19 degrees. So we can use that now and set up a ratio and use the law of sines to find A and B. So let's go ahead and use the ratio C over sine C and set that equal to A over sine A. So I am going to set that up. C over sine C equals A over sine A. And C is 1,200, and the angle for C is 19. We just found that. So 1,200 over sine 19. And I know that side C is 1,200 because it's opposite of angle C. And angle A is not known. And we're letting A be here because that's what we named it. We could have called it something else. That's fine. And it doesn't matter what name we gave it. If we wanted to have called that one B, that's fine. And we could have set this up as B. And this is sine 85 then, because we're calling this one A, then that's going to be sine 85. So now we can just cross multiply. And we're going to have A sine 19 equals 1,200 sine 85. And I want to isolate that A, so I'm going to divide by the sine of 19 on both sides. And I'm going to end up with A equals 3,671.8. So that's my distance in yards from the beach on this side, right here. That's this distance. Now, if I want the other distance, I'm going to need to set up a different ratio. So I still need to find this distance. So why don't you go ahead and pause the video and then see if you can set up a ratio and solve for side B. Okay, so we should have set up a ratio of B over sine B, C over sine C, and B over sine 76 over 1200 sine 19. Cross multiply would have given you B equals 3,576.4. So the platform is about 3,671.8 yards from one end of the beach and 3,576.4 yards from the other. So those are two really good examples of applications on how to use the law of sines to solve actual problems that might be used out in the real world, in surveying or in just geography or any other type of navigation type problems that you might use trigonometry for.